Tom Aspinall's situation has been full of drama since he won the interim heavyweight title. You'd think people would focus on his success, his skills, and his upcoming fight with Jon Jones. But instead, he's been facing unexpected criticism, even from Conor McGregor. Yes, that's right. Instead of supporting another fighter from the UK scene, McGregor criticized Aspinall on social media, all because of a simple, harmless comment.
Weird, because I don't really know Conor at all. I've never even met the guy. Never had any beef with him or anything, and the whole situation came on a little bit weird. So my friend started a YouTube channel, right? Because he's my friend, he came down the gym and interviewed me, and I did it because he's my friend. He doesn't have loads of numbers on his, doesn't have loads of followers or loads of subscribers or anything like that. So it's a pretty small interview, and he asked me about McGregor. Are you looking forward to McGregor's next fight? Blah blah blah. And I said, oh, to be honest, I'm not really that interested in Conor McGregor. Not because mate, I only really watch the heavyweights and bigger guys. I'm not as interested in the small. I just meant it like that. Next minute, he's fucking sending me death threats, loads of tweets. I'm like, mate.
It all started when Aspinall said in an interview that he hasn't really been paying attention to Conor McGregor lately. Not because he dislikes him, but because he's been completely focused on training and watching heavyweight fights. It was a simple and respectful comment, not meant to offend anyone, but Conor didn't like it. He responded on Twitter, suggesting that Aspinall was being disrespectful and just using his name for attention. He twisted the comment into something it clearly wasn't. That's when Aspinall appeared on Piers Morgan's show to finally talk about all the drama.
What about Conor McGregor? He's been very scathing of you on social media, taken you on a few times. What do you feel about him?
I don't know Conor McGregor. I've never met him. I don't know why he chooses to do that. No idea.
2023, you said that you were over the Conor McGregor hype train, and he took to Twitter, as it was then, and said, say sayonara to that, GK, Jim King, Deal Kid, starve you and kill you, I will, you effing disrespectful prick. Don't ever speak my name in disrespect again, mushed potato head.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong about the head. The head is quite potato-shaped. I'm all right with that. But I don't know why he's so offended. I just said I'm not...
Have you met him?
No, I've never met him. Never met him.
What would happen if you met him?
Nothing against him, nothing. Unless...
I mean, you're massively big.
I'm not bothered. I'm not interested.
Really?
Yeah.
He calmly cleared things up and reminded everyone that he's only focused on one goal right now, becoming the undisputed UFC heavyweight champion.
He is about one guy being the champion of each division. I defended the interim once already. It's almost unheard of that. It's unprecedented. I thought it was silly the first time, to be honest. The reason that I did it, the first time I fought Curtis Blades, it went down as a loss. I got injured. The worst moment of my career, one of the worst moments of my life. I wanted to redeem myself and get the legit victory against Curtis Blades because it was unfinished business. Like, that was hurting my ego, and I wanted to prove that I was better than Blades, which I did in the rematch, and I defended the interim. Something else, that particular fight was in Manchester, in my hometown. I wanted to fight in my hometown. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that again in front of a sold-out, brand new Co-op Live arena in Manchester, England. I don't know if I'm ever going to have the opportunity to do that again. So for them two reasons, that's why I defended the interim. I'm not doing it again. Like, I've cleared out the rest of the division, undisputed, and that's it. I deserve a shot at being known as the best heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. It doesn't matter on the opponent, undisputed.
You'd think Conor, someone who knows what it's like to prepare for a huge fight, would support Aspinall as he gets ready for the biggest match of his career.
Conor McGregor up like a shopping bag with one arm. He is so small compared to me. And I know his fans are going to think he's like Superman or whatever, but they've got weight classes for a reason, bro. I'm more than twice the size of this man. And look, if you want to do a charity fight, anything, MMA, boxing, I don't really give a shit because I'm literally a giant compared to you. We'll donate the money to burns victims. How about that? Anytime, anywhere, any place. I really don't care. Someone needs to shut that hole in your...
Especially with a possible fight against Jon Jones coming up, you'd expect more support. But it's not just Conor who's been distant. Surprisingly, other UK fighters are doing the same. For example, Paddy Pimblett recently said he thinks Jon Jones would beat Aspinall, choosing to back the American legend instead of supporting...
Do you think the Aspinall-Jones fight happens?
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. The one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is his fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against Jon Jones. It's just something I couldn't.
It's a strange situation that has left fans wondering where the loyalty in UK MMA really is. But even though some fighters are unsure, many people in the MMA world have made their views clear. Tom Aspinall is the future of the heavyweight division. And if he ends up fighting Jon Jones, a lot of fans think Jones could be in real trouble.
He's elite as a heavyweight. A lot of the heavyweights, they're good, they're very strong, they're powerful, but they're not as quick and as agile and as technical as Tom. Tom's the whole package. You know, he's like, there's a fighter called George St. Pierre, who's one of the greatest to ever do it. Tom's like a heavyweight George St. Pierre. He's got no weak areas. He's got absolute knockout power, super disciplined, super agile on the feet. He finishes everyone really, really quickly. However, he hasn't gone up against somebody like Jon Jones because, as I said, the competition in the heavyweight division isn't necessarily there on a technical level. Jon Jones is, and Jon Jones has fought way better competition than Tom. That's just a fact. But Jon's never fought anyone like Tom either. Jon has never fought anyone the size of Tom, and that can generate that kind of power. He had two heavyweight fights, one against Cyril Garner, who took him down really quick and he choked him out. And then he went up against Stipe Miocic. He was really good, and you know, he had a good little go, but he was 42 and he hadn't fought for a while and he's getting on. Tom's 31 in the prime of his life, and I would be very surprised, and this sounds disrespectful, but I'd be very surprised if he got out the first round.
Tom Aspinall is a tough matchup for anyone because of his fighting style. He's fast, skilled, explosive, and moves like a much smaller fighter. He has knockout power in both hands and is also good on the ground. He stays calm under pressure and can finish fights quickly. All of this makes him one of the most dangerous heavyweights right now. Jon Jones is still the champion. He's a smart and experienced fighter who has beaten every type of opponent. But he hasn't fought in a while, has been dealing with injuries, and he's never faced someone like Tom, especially not someone this fast, strong, and technical.
Who's next big heavyweight star?
Tom Aspinall, the guy who
Of
just
course, who
won
just
the
won.
interim title. He's phenomenal, and he is
Yes.
again the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His
Yeah.
striking is outstanding. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem because he's a heavyweight and he's a big guy, a really big guy, but he moves so fast. And so his speed has always been like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like, he just fucking moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see like he's fast for a big guy.
Right.
I want to see it so bad.
John was shitting all over Aspinall, saying that
I think that's
lucky,
a bad way to go.
He was lucky that he blew his knee out with Curtis Blades because Curtis was teeing off
Doing
on
well.
him. Unless John avoided him, unless John used his wrestling to avoid exchanges, you know what that's all about.
Correct. It's
Yeah.
called the Shop Shutdown.
Shop shut down.
I saw a 7-part
They did with
series on
Cyborg.
it. Yes. The Stipe fight was just like, it's a weird thing.
Aspinall's an athlete, man. He's such a good athlete.
Freak athlete.
Very fast. Very fast for a
God,
heavyweight.
So fast.
Yeah,
And-
we felt the same way about Cyril Gane.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but Cyril
Gane
Gane
is-
doesn't have wrestling, doesn't have jiu-jitsu. Aspinall's like legit on the ground.
Black belt.
Very legit on the ground.
So legit that
dad-
his dad owned jiu-jitsu gym. His dad's a black belt. He started doing jiu-jitsu at 2.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Aspinall is past the first round, right? Because we've seen him. He looks so fast. He looks. You're like, nobody moves like him. He looks like a younger Kane.
Right.
But he just keeps knocking these guys out so quick. So I'm like, let me see him past the first round to see if he has that cardio as well.
It's a bit of a problem for him, right? Because he has not been tested in that way.
That's what makes this upcoming fight so exciting. Some experts think Jon Jones will use his experience to control the distance, take the fight into the later rounds, and show everyone why many consider him the greatest of all time.
I bet if he's weighing 215, he would fight Tom Aspinall better than him weighing 245 pounds. In his 205 frame, he could fight Tom Aspinall better than he'd fight him at that 250 because that's not his weight class. While he didn't last long with Cyril, he didn't look as fast. He carried more weight. Cyril just did some weird stuff, and John, you don't make mistakes against him.
Some people think Aspinall is too young, too fast, and too sharp for Jon Jones, and that Jones wouldn't last 2 rounds against him. But with all the delays, politics, and uncertainty about whether the fight will even happen, fans are getting frustrated. They're tired of waiting, tired of seeing the interim champ stuck on the sidelines, and tired of one of the biggest UFC fights just sitting on hold. So while Tom Aspinall keeps training,